Let's look at mean, mode, and median from grouped frequency tables. So we've got two examples here of grouped frequency tables where we're given the ages of people and we're told the frequencies of each of these classes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to think about the modal class. Now the modal class is the class that has the highest frequency. And so if we look at the first grouped frequency table here, the class that has the highest frequency is this class between 10 and 20. And so the modal class for the first group frequency table is 10 is less than A, which is less than or equal to 20. If we look at the second table, to get the modal class, we look at the class that has the highest frequency again, and we can see that the highest frequency is 13, and that is represented by the class between 30 and 40. So 30 is less than A, which is less than or equal to 40. The second question is to work out the mean. Now, when we work out the mean from grouped frequency tables, we end up with an estimate. The reason is because each of these classes, we don't know exactly what the ages are of the people within them. So for example, the first class here represents people between the ages of 0 and 10, and there are 4 people in that class. Now we don't know what the ages of these individuals are, and so the approach we use is an estimate by taking the midpoint of each of these classes. So we'll start with the first class here. The midpoint of 0 to 10 would be to add these two numbers together and then divide by 2. So 0 plus 10 is 10, and 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. If we want the midpoint of the second class, we would do 10 plus 20, which is 30, divided by 2, which is 15. And the next one is 20 plus 30, which is 50, divided by 2, which is 25. The next one is 30 plus 40, which is 70, divided by 2, which is 35. And this last one is 40 plus 50, which is 90, divided by 2, which is 45. And now we'll do the same thing for this group frequency table. And since the ages for the classes are exactly the same, then these midpoints would be the same. Now to estimate the mean, we would work out the total age of everyone and then divide by the total number of people altogether. Now in this scenario, since we have a grouped frequency table, we don't know what the exact ages are of the people in each class. So for example, in the first class, we have people aged between 0 and 10, and there are 4 people, but we don't know what their exact ages are. So to estimate this, we use the midpoint of each of these class intervals, and then we multiply that by the frequency to give us the total age. We have 4 people that are aged between 0 and 10, and so to estimate, we're going to say that those 4 people have an age of 5 on average, and so 4 times 5 gives us the total age for that class. So 4 times 5 gives us 20. Then to work out the total age for the next class, we would do 17 times 15, which is 255. And then the next class would be 9 times 25, which is 225. And then 420, and then 315. And so the total age of everyone would be the midpoint times the frequency and the sum of all of these numbers. And so in this scenario, all of these numbers add up to 1,235. And then we also need to work out the total frequency, which in this case is equal to 49. And so finally, to work out the mean, we take the total ages of everyone, which is 1,235, and we divide this by the total number of people, which is 49 in this case. So 1,235 divided by 49 is equal to 25.2. So in this scenario, the units would be years, and this is to 3 significant figures. So using the same approach, we're going to work out the mean for this grouped frequency table as well. So again, we're going to take the frequency and multiply by each of the midpoints here. And so we need to work out the total age of everyone, which is all of these numbers added together in the column for midpoint times frequency. So that's equal to 1,290. And then we need to divide by the total number of people, which in this case is the total frequency, which is 50. So 1,290 which represents the total age of everyone, divided by 50, which is the total number of people, and this equals to 25.8. The units are years, and this is rounded to 3 significant figures. Now, to work out the median from a grouped frequency table, we first need to work out the cumulative frequency. So this can be thought of as the running frequency. In other words, adding the frequencies as we go along the column. So if we start with the first frequency here, we have 4. Then the next frequency, in this case, is 17, and to work out the cumulative frequency, we need to add this to the previous number. So 17 plus 4, which gives us 21. Then to work out the next cumulative frequency, we would now add 9 to 21, which gives us 30. And to work out the next value, we would do 12 plus 30, which gives us 42. And the final value, which is 7 plus 42, which is 49. Now, we can't actually find the median from a grouped frequency table, but we can find the class which the median lies in. And so to do that, we use the following formula. So we have that the position of the median is equal to the term that is given by n plus 1 over 2, where n is the total number of values that we have. In this case, the total frequency, which is 49. And so we would do 49 plus 1 divided by 2. 49 plus 1 is 50. 50 divided by 2 is equal to 25. So the 25th term represents the median. So if we look back at the cumulative frequency, to get the 25th term, we need to count along until we get to 25. So in the first row, we have a cumulative frequency of 4, and so we haven't passed 25 yet. Therefore, the median can't be in the class between 0 and 10. Then if we look at the second row, we have a cumulative frequency of 21. So again, we haven't passed 25 yet, so the median can't be in the class between 10 and 20. If we look at the next row, we get to 30, and so this is the first time that we pass 25. Therefore, the median is in the class between 20 and 30. And so for this question, the class in which the median is in is between 20 and 30 years. And so for the second example, we would do exactly the same thing for the median. And so we first need to work out the cumulative frequencies. So to work out the position of the median, we would use the same formula here. So we have that the position equals to n plus 1 divided by 2. In this case, n is the total frequency, which is 50. We have 50 plus 1 divided by 2. 50 plus 1 is 51, divided by 2 is 25.5. So we're looking at the 25.5th term in the grouped frequency table. So let's start with the cumulative frequency again. We're looking for the first time we passed 25.5. So in the first row, we have 10. We haven't passed 25.5. The median can't be in the class between 0 and 10. If we look at the next cumulative frequency, we have 21. So again, we haven't passed 25.5 yet. And so it can't be in the class between 10 and 20. If we look at the next row, we have 26. So this is the first time that we have passed 25.5. Therefore, the median must be in the class between 20 and 30. And so our answer would be that the median is in the class between the ages of 20 and 30 years.